Hello, in this video, I want to talk a little about this podcast that I listened to with Robert Kiyosaki, which was probably the best podcast I've listened to for a while, talking about really money, the traps that we set for ourselves, being an entrepreneur, and all these really cool topics like the school system and everything. Before I begin, down below there is a link, and if you click on it, there's really good training on how someone can really make some money using social media and the internet and everything. All right, so Robert starts off about college, and what he was saying was that what he learned in school actually slowed him down. He didn't learn anything about money, and one of the things he didn't like is it making mistakes. You look at college exams, there's one right answer, right? And in life, usually there's more than one right answer. And that's what his experience is. Me too, in a lot of ways. So it's not as easy as that. Another thing which he talks about is don't make mistakes. If you do, you're stupid. That's what they kind of trained you in school. And what he was talking about is the truth is you become smarter making mistakes. And if you can make them, you actually become more creative. All right. In some jobs, if you try to be creative, you're fired. And some people feel like they're trapped. And I'm looking at Jeff Bezos and successful businesses like Jeff Bezos, where he actually is much more willing to take risk and fail. And some CEOs of companies, they don't want to fail, they don't want to take risks because they don't want to get fired. Um, like they're trapped, like a job. Have you ever felt that way in a job? I know I have. Heck, I got fired for, I don't think I made any mistakes. At one restaurant, I didn't get one complaint. They still fired me. And he actually has this person named Dr. Tina Seelig who teaches entrepreneur skills at Stanford University. And she has some really cool ideas. Her point is that anyone in the field that has an open mind is going to be much more successful at what they're trying to accomplish. In any field, it's good to have an open mind. And once you think you know everything, you're toast. It's not good. Be humble. Always be open to learning new things, different ways of looking at things. Kind of like what Warren Buffett says, what fails companies is they get too arrogant and they just sit on their winnings. They don't stay competitive. And what she did a really cool experiment in her class at Stanford where she gave them an envelope with $5. And she told them they had all the time they wanted to plan what they were going to do, okay? But as soon as you open that envelope, you have 2 hours to spend that $5, and the goal was to make as much money as you can. That's it. That's all you had to do, okay? Really simple, right? And the question I have for you is, what would you do if a challenge like that was presented? Good question, right? I mean, that's some really good education right there, real world experience. And there were people that she mentioned that she did the obvious things like start a lemonade stand, a bakery, and sell those kind of stuff using that $5, or a car wash. But what she said was very interesting. She said there were people who realized that the $5 was actually a distraction, like a mistake. And the point was that someone's skills were actually worth more than the $5. Okay, for example, like someone making reservations for a restaurant, tutoring, using their skills and charging money for it. And by not taking that $5, they were able to be more creative and actually earn more money. Pretty interesting, right? Pretty fascinating. And I remember listening to an interview with one of the judges on Shark Tank. I forget his name, but he started the whole FUBU brand clothing line. And what he talks about is that too much funding is what destroys businesses. They get too much money. I thought that was really pretty interesting. How about in your own life? Can you relate to that? You get too much money, you get lazy. Like, I don't need to be creative at work. Kind of true. There's some truth to that. And Robert Kiyosaki mentioned that the reason his rich dad didn't pay him was a couple of reasons. One, he didn't want to make him dependent on that paycheck by him, which probably would have been kind of small, but use his brain to be more creative to make more money. Kind of like another book called Think and Grow Rich. He didn't get paid. But also that if he gave him money, he would be stupid with the money. He gets stupid if he gives him money, which that was his reason. In my own life, I can relate to this because I actually ended up with a bunch of money. I ended up in Cambodia, just basically, partying a lot and ending up with the wrong girl, and kind of, we all get to spend money foolishly at times. We're not rational sometimes. I was a sucker in many ways, which is good education, learning from that. Then I got lazy too. If you have a bunch of money, like I don't even make money, I got tons. So, how about your own life? Think about it. Some really deep questions. Are you a wimp? Wimp stands for, where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck, right? Is fear holding you back from your own goals? Are you tied to a job and working with people maybe you don't like for the security of a paycheck? Those are tough questions everyone has to answer, especially in this day of age where job security is very hard to find. It's our society and culture is different than it was 50 years ago or whatever, where you had this safe, secure job and then you had this pension. Does that even exist anymore? I don't know. You tell me. Um, there's a wonderful quote which she says something to the effect of not all things that counts can be counted, and not all things that can be counted counts. So not all things that can be, wait, not all things that counts can be counted. You can't count them. So the reason she has that quote, what she likes, and I think it's kind of an interesting quote if you really sit down and think about it. You can't count everything. You can't grade everything. Is how do you measure love? How do you measure that? How do you give it a grade? How do you measure ethics? How do you measure creativity? How do you give creativity a grade? And unfortunately, because it's difficult to measure these things, we actually don't see them. And what she says is very interesting. What she tells her students is that she doesn't even want them to think about grades. Don't think about grades. Okay, just don't think about it. She looked at how much effort and energy you put into something as opposed to like a specific outcome. Because in the world of innovation and entrepreneurship, there's a lot of false starts, and you can't punish people for really trying things if they don't work out the first time. It's hard to measure those types of things. And there's tons of examples, like the guy who started Instagram, his name was Kevin, but it was an overnight success. No, he started another app. I think it was an address book app, which he failed and said this is not going to work. So he changed paths and then went into pictures, and then obviously sold Instagram to, I believe it was Facebook. Yeah, Facebook for I think it was $1 billion. But it wasn't a success overnight, of course. So how do you measure that? There you go. And another cool thing what she does, which is an interesting idea, is she requires her students to write a failure resume. And her whole argument is if you don't learn from your failures, you're really missing an opportunity. Because you can learn a lot from screwing up, as long as you can admit that and get a lesson from it. Another thing she says is you can forget about the failure, much quicker if you get what you learn from them. You won't dwell on it and start thinking about the failures too much, which was her attitude. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in that podcast I listened to. There's a lot more, but I don't want to make this video too long. If you liked it, if you learned something, hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that a ton. Also, if you are, if you are interested in earning some money online, like using social media and all that kind of stuff, I can't recommend you click on that link below. It's really, really good. I've looked at a lot of them, and I really feel great sharing this with people. And if I don't, I feel like a jerk. It's that good, okay? So click on that link, check it out. I hope you like this video. And my mouse got stuck here. All right, come on, mouse. All right. And yeah, I wish you the best. Take care, and bye.